Understand misery. Go to its root cause. Ego is the root cause. Its thirst is unquenchable. Unfulfilled, it always brings frustration, and that accumulated frustration is your misery. Only an inward change can really make a difference. It is the qualitative change that makes a difference. Remember that qualitative difference is possible only if you start dismantling the roots of your misery. The first step in this direction requires understanding your misery. People go on changing symptoms. You are miserable with one woman or with one man, so you change. And you completely forget in the process that you were very happy with this man or woman once. You have completely forgotten the honeymoon days, and again you will do the same foolish thing with some other woman or man, the same honeymoon and the same excitement, and again the same depression, the same boredom. The process continues. You can go on changing the woman or man again and again as long you wish to do, but it will be just the same routine, the same vicious circle that will never come to an end. If you really want to change your misery, you have to go to the root cause. First, you have to understand the root cause. Introspect. Do you know what love is? And if you do not know, then how can you be a lover? How can you share love when you do not know what it is? How can you share love when you have not experienced it deep within? Love is the outcome of inner harmony. The root cause of your misery explains when you relate with someone. In the beginning you manage to act blissfully and efficiently, but how long can you act? As things settle, you start coming back to your normal self, because one cannot live continuously active. Those honeymoon days when you were smiling, when there were songs on your lips, are just the days of acting which soon will disappear, and you come back to your natural and the normal self. One has to, otherwise it is very tiring. One cannot go on putting on a face for long. And the same is true about the other person you are in love with. He or she also settles, and then both are miserable persons once again. That the reality suddenly is there and has to be encountered. And remember, two miserable persons together not only double the misery, instead they multiply it, and then each one of them throws the responsibility on the other. And in the process, one never introspects that the responsibility is indeed one's self. In the process of relating or interacting, the other becomes the mirror. And when you look into the mirror of relationship, you will see your face alone. So what do? You simply abandon the mirror or relationship and feel happy that now there is no one to make you unhappy or miserable. Remember, happiness is an understanding. Happiness is your choice. It is the outcome of deep inner oneness and harmony. Happiness manifests as understanding in the outer world of objects and beings. First, you have to find the root cause of your misery. Only then you can work to remove it. It seems everyone is searching for the cause of one's own misery. It is like searching the black cat in a dark room. Just as before you start growing roses, you have to pull out all the weeds. You have to prepare the soil, remove all the rocks, and only then seed can be sown. So too, first you have to find the root cause of your misery. Only then you can work to remove it. And in fact, the moment you discover the root cause, you will discover bliss, your very nature, and you were in a dreamlike state. Go deep into the cause of misery and remember the causes are not many. Basically, the main cause is ego, and then others are offshoot. A man with ego is bound to remain miserable because ego can never be fulfilled. His thirst is unquenchable, and because it can never be fulfilled, it always brings frustration, and that frustration accumulates and becomes your misery. It becomes mountainous. It destroys joy, love, and truth. You simply become a black hole. Jealousy, anger, frustration, and misery are all the fruits that grow on the tree of ego. These are the ornaments of ego, and ego, on the other hand, nourishes and nurtures these fruits. Together, ego and misery, ego and anger, ego and jealousy change your gestalt, and eventually it becomes your very nature and the way of life. And eventually it acts as filters for your understanding and interaction. Everything you analyze through such filters. When you look around, you will find such people. These are like black holes, and you can see such black holes moving around in the world, searching for other black holes. And just think of the calamity when two black holes meet and interact together. This association they call marriage and love. In the process, there are simply two black holes meeting one another. They have nothing else to share or give, and everybody wants to suck the other or get as much as possible. Both are beggars, striving to create a union. Therefore, introspect the root of misery, the ego and its offshoots, jealousy, possessiveness, anger, and the desire to dominate. Choose to be happy under all circumstances and situations over which you have no control. Be aware of this. In the beginning, it may be active. Then slowly and slowly it will change your gestalt, and eventually happiness becomes the filter through which you look at the world and the phenomena. As the gestalt changes, you have found the door to the inner, the reservoir of bliss. Suddenly, then you will be surprised that bliss has not to be achieved. It is your intrinsic nature. You are it, bliss. Once misery is removed, it is as if clouds have disappeared and the sun starts shining forth. And when you are blissful, your life is a pilgrimage. It is no ordinary journey. It is sacred. Then each step is towards God. A blissful person cannot go anywhere else other than to God. Such a person cannot go astray. It is impossible to go astray.